Welcome to the Know, I'm Mica.
I'm John.
Heads up, video game industry, you better back off that battle royale or PUBG Corporation is gonna come at ya! The studio behind the once rising star PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is now taking other similar games to court, which is not fun.
Yeah, considering creator Brendan Green's stance about copycats in the world of gaming, this isn't too surprising. However, in this instance, yeah, it's probably justified.
Yeah, PUBG Corporation filed a lawsuit this week against mobile gaming company NetEase over two of their iOS games, Rules of Survival and Knives Out, which are pretty blatant rip-offs not only of the Battle Royale format, but, PUBG in general.
The 155-page lawsuit document, first reported by Torrent Freak, was filed in the court of the Northern District of California, claiming that NetEase was guilty of copyright infringement for including a number of mechanics and visual cues in their game solely for the, quote, purpose of evoking the same gameplay experience depicted in Battlegrounds.
According to the lawsuit, both Rules of Survival and Knives Out allegedly rip off PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds in a heap of ridiculously obvious ways. The document outlines a bunch of infractions such as the pre-game waiting area, jumping from a plane, the main map, character attributes, the acquisition of equipment, and the entire game.
The game.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like it could be a list of stuff in just about any Battle Royale game. These games also apparently even ripped off the winner, winner, chicken dinner catchphrase, so popularly associated with the game.
So, yeah, they're not even really trying to hide it. On top of that, PUBG Core goes through the way that both games were marketed on the App Store, with the game being intentionally made to look just like PUBG. The company wrote in the lawsuit, defendants intended to create consumer confusion as to the source of ROS and intended to cause consumers to believe incorrectly that ROS had been developed by PUBG.
Overall, it seems like PUBG Core is asking for the two games to be shut down plus $150,000 for each infraction committed, and considering there are 155 pages of those,
Yikes.
This could get pretty expensive for NetEase. On top of that, PUBG Core also wants all profits from the two games.
Double yikes. And judging from all the examples provided, this isn't simply the case of getting annoyed that there are some copycats out there. It mostly has to do with the confusion of this game on the mobile marketplace, a marketplace that PUBG itself just entered in the recent weeks.
Yeah, that move happened rather surprisingly following some major hype over rival title Fortnite's mobile version, which gets even more difficult when there are already several PUBG ripoffs on the iOS store that are confusing customers.
So yeah, this is a totally separate deal than PUBG Core lashing out at games that are lifting their game type. Since the launch of PUBG, there have been a number of clones that have popped up all over the place. Several developers have suddenly added the Battle Royale mode to their games, ranging from GTA Online to Paladins, which itself was already accused of being a clone of Overwatch, so now it's just a clone.
Yeah, and that list is also obviously includes Fortnite, which has quickly become maybe the biggest game in the world right now, all thanks to launching a Battle Royale mode. That mode, if you recall, is almost nothing like the main game, which was meant to be a co-op survival base builder.
Sometimes I forget that's what Fortnite was.
It's still there. The button's still there if you want to click it.
Part of the reason we're even talking about the lawsuit is that creator Brendan Green has developed something of a reputation for feeling a bit sore about all these copycats, which means that it's immediately what comes to mind for some gamers when there's news of a lawsuit.
In a radio interview late last year, Green rather famously criticized the way video games are protected via copyright. Speaking to Radio 1 Gaming Show, he said, "There's no intellectual property protection in games. In movies and music, there's IP protection and you can really look after your work. In gaming, that doesn't exist yet, and it's something that should be looked into. Some amazing games pass under the radar. Then someone else takes the idea, has a marketing budget, and suddenly has a popular game because they ripped off someone else's idea. I think it's something the industry needs to look into."
Yeah, this has given Green some notoriety for being a bit of a sorry sport, especially since, PUBG was hardly the first example of a battle royale out there, and he lifted some of the most popular mechanics from other games and movies, one game that he worked on, actually, so,
However, in recent months, Green has since tried to clarify some of those comments and wants people to know that he's not against other games picking up the Battle Royale torch. Speaking to a group at GDC in San Francisco, Green said of Fortnite, "I mean, it's great that the Battle Royale space is expanding and that Fortnite is getting the Battle Royale game mode into hands of a lot more people, so it grows the genre."
He went on to say, "I get asked these questions sometimes, like, what do you do to combat this? When PUBG came out, we were killing H1Z1. When H1 came out, it was killing Arma 3. We never set out to kill these games. I don't understand this attitude, like, you're dead."
For Green, he doesn't like that perception of him or of other game developers. He wrapped up his thoughts on that subject with, "I've really tried to combat that perception that I want other people's games to die. It's great that more people are exploring the space and more people are getting to play games."
So yeah, PUBG has a bone to pick with other copycat developers out there, but In this instance, it looks like they've got a pretty good case. You know, legally speaking, that is.
What do you guys think of PUBG's lawsuit against Copycats? Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates on Battle Royale games and how they're all going to Battle Royale each other to death, just a big fight. Remember to like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to me now.
The new Smash Brothers is going to be Battle Royale.
Oh God, that's such a ripoff. How dare they?
That would actually be fun.
Yeah, I would. I'd play that. Which that's a pretty awesome title for a game if you ask me. But they're also pretty blatant ripoffs. Not only the Battle Royale film rep, all the way through both games and.